Hello, everyone. welcome again. The last day here, AAPM 2023. We're in booth 300 in the exhibit hall in Houston here at AAPM. We're so excited. It's been a great week, a busy week, and we're sad. It's bittersweet to be wrapping up the last day here. But our first guest of the final day of the show here from the booth, Dr. Beaulieu, how are you today?
Thank you very much, Tracy. Everything's going well. It's been a nice few days.
Yes, it's been so nice to see everyone, and there's so many amazing things happening in the exhibit hall, and the lecture series I've heard have been really nice. Yes. Tell us a little bit about where you're from.
Yeah. So first, it's very nice to be here. It's my first APM meeting since 2019.
Oh,
I hadn't come back.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, for 2 years for obvious reason, and then I couldn't last year. So seeing a lot of you folks that I've been seeing for years has been really good.
Yes, it's been so nice.
Yeah, and actually for us, it's actually been a great year. We've moved to a new center. So our center was used to be located in the old Quebec City, the old historic district.
Okay.
But then last year, the old clinic moved to a brand new facility. Great, luminous. I mean, these nice glass wall. 14 bunkers. Can you believe it? 14 bunkers, 3 break rooms.
3 break rooms and plus 14.
Plus 14 bunkers for
wow. Okay.
So brand new. I mean, a lot of equipment to put commissioning and everything needs to be done.
Yes.
But now it's up and running, so it's been very exciting. And our first MR Linac is coming in a month, so that's.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I know that those changes, you see the vaults started getting filled, and one room at a time they come to life, and it's amazing to watch a facility go from a building to a home of care.
Yeah. So it's like I said, it's been quite interesting to see the whole teams working on this.
Beautiful. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so all moved in.
All moved in. Everything is up and running. So it's
lovely. Great. That's amazing. Wow. And with that many, are all the vaults filled already? Or
no, we still have 3 vaults that are empty. So one was planned for rotation at some point in time, another for future expansion.
Okay.
So on the top of that, we had just beside our facility is a cyclotron for isotope production. So we will produce our own FDG and all other type of isotope for PET and theranostic. So there's a huge theranostic program also at the same time being built. So it's going to be exciting.
That's a new modality to learn.
Exciting place to be.
Yes, undoubtedly, for sure. We'll have to come visit soon. That's something really to see.
That would be great.
Oh, of course, absolutely. So, anything exciting you've heard in the lecture series this week?
There's been a lot of interesting things. I mean, in the lecture series, of course, there's a lot of AI.
Yes.
But there's also been the use of these large language models, those that are built in ChatGPT.
Yes.
But as a guide or help for the clinician. So there was this presentation where the ChatGPT-like AI was helping the physician in the planning, and the physicist. So there was basically you could interact with it. So you said this dose is a bit too high. Please increase the weight and redo the optimization, things like that.
Just speaking to it.
Just speaking to it, and it will do everything, and then also tell the results verbally, and you could interact with like you would interact with your colleague. So basically, like a guide or an helper. So that was really interesting. I mean, this is something you could envision, and this AI would interact with other parts of the system. So it doesn't have to be everything AI wall to wall, right? But that was quite interesting.
That's exciting.
It is.
It's really exciting to have another input there, almost another set of eyes in the computer there. Because I know we're needing more talent in the field these days, so the little helpers are appreciated.
Otherwise, on the trade floor, I was really impressed because I didn't know about it before. Of Rock Mackey New Venture, this Leo Cancer Care. Yes. I sat in the chair.
Did you?
I actually sat, and then we kept talking, and at some point told me, it's been 20 minutes. I said, really? And then so I was in the chair for half an hour in the end, and I was surprised. I didn't thought it would be comfortable, but it is actually really comfortable.
Yes, they're doing some wonderful things over there at Leo. It's really been it's amazing to see that they had one here. I was doing my first walk around when they were setting up. I'm very excited to see the chair here. It's very
So
exciting.
that was a surprise for me from the trade show floor. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. So 20, 30 minutes in the chair and still comfortable.
Yep.
Love it. Love it.
Might be even more comfortable than the chair in the meeting rooms.
Man, you know what? You know, they want you to stay awake in those meeting rooms, right? Oh my goodness. Well, I definitely appreciate the level of new tech and the announcements and some of the advancements that have been revealed here. It's been really an exciting show to be in.
The other interesting thing that I because 2019 was my reference point, right?
Sure.
Is the number of people doing some optical dosimetry. I see the surface dosimetry over there. Of course, there's the W1, W2 here,
Yes, of course.
which have been great, and I see the paper in front of me here that you guys have at this meeting,
Yeah.
including flash dosimetry and Brachy. And of course, this dosimeter is probably the one that has the largest number of publications confirming that you don't need correction factor, which is great for small field and things like that.
Yeah.
But then there's other around that seems to be pushing or popping up from everywhere.
That's right. The field's growing every single day.
Yeah.
Every show you see there's more announcements and things keep growing and pushing further. You know, the scientific minds in this field are like none other.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing forward because the goal is to help patients.
Yep.
So it's not just the technological advancements for the sake of advancements. There's a real purpose at the end, which is why I think most of us are here. Working in this field,
That's true.
right? Yeah, that's a great thing. It's a great thing. Yes, I was interviewing last night Dr. Indra Das. He came by and was talking about some W2 papers as well. So, and I know that's big. It'll be a big help, really big in the future.
I think the response to this dosimeter has been great, and the ability of the dosimeter to measure those in extreme condition is really there, and it's been confirmed by a number of papers now.
Papers.
Independent research. It's been quite good.
Good. I'm glad to hear another positive feedback there on that one. We've had quite a few folks through the booth interested in learning more about the ventilators and how they function, and the lack of the need for the correction factors.
Yeah.
So
that's a big deal, actually.
It really is. Yes.
In some instance, the only way to actually having correction factor for some of the other dosimeter was to do a Monte Carlo simulation,
right?
And a very detailed Monte Carlo. But now when you have a detector like a W2, which has essentially no correction factor in most situations, then you can use this to extract experimentally those correction factor, and then now you can compare your Monte Carlo and be on safe ground. I mean, you have an actual measurement of the thing.
Of course.
So that's actually quite interesting. I can find it, as a medical physicist who likes to measure things, I think I find this quite interesting. Not that I don't like Monte Carlo. I use Monte Carlo quite a lot also, but it's always good to have this experimental confirmation.
Absolutely. It's good to see the numbers reveal themselves as accurate.
Exactly.
That's always a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. I think, oh, it is good. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate the feedback on that one. It's quite a tool. We have our W2 set up here in the booth. So for those who are listening, if you're in Houston and you haven't made it to the exhibit hall, come by. We're booth 300 right inside the front door of the exhibit hall to the left, and we're happy to we have a W2 set up over there to demonstrate for sure. What's next on the horizon for you this week?
What's next for me this week? Well, seeing all the people that I long to see for a number of years now. I mean, it's been really nice to reconnect, and I'll do that again today. Leaving tomorrow, back. So I'm the director of the graduate program, so there's a bunch of students also that are waiting for us and reading some of the thesis and so on. And we have a great research program going on, still involving some scintillator. We have a lot of interesting projects in not only point detector, but also 3D, 4D dosimetry. So we have a lot of interest in that, especially in the MRI Linac context. I think that's going to be quite interesting.
Yes, there's been a lot of MRI Linac talk this week.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. I've had the great pleasure of chatting with a couple of MR experts this week about the installation differences and the usage differences. And Dr. Das wrote a book here, a guide for MR clinical implications. And we were talking about that last night about how they're similar in installation and in practice, but there are some differences because you're folding in another new modality.
Yep.
But it seems like at your facility, that's kind of the name of it.
It is indeed, and you're right. I mean, you introduce MR. I mean, an MR come with a bunch of good thing, but also a bunch of restriction.
Sure.
That you have to work around and make sure everything around it is MR safe,
Right.
and and then the workflow, that things that you were not thinking before now needs to be folded in your routine, and so yeah.
Oh, we learned yesterday about the zones. I didn't. I guess I probably recognized intuitively, but yes, there's labeled zones of safety and the aspect of team training because it is quite a different environment.
Very important, yeah. And operating the MR when the patient is there, but also operating the LINAC, and so that's a complementary sets of skill, and
It's very different but the same, and it's a testament to the growth, a testament to the development in the field, and how things are coming together from being very siloed with therapeutics and diagnostics, and now theranostics are coming around, and everybody's kind of coming back together into the field. I see it merging together more and more.
so we're not. I mean, I think we're not done with these treatment under, I call them extreme conditions, so small field, MR field, flash condition, or ultra high dose rates, which not quite flash but close to flash. So all of these things they shake a bit our day-to-day operation, and how we measure those, how we deal with those.
The second you get used to it, there's something new to do. Yeah, and Flash has been big here too. There's been quite a few major announcements about Flash, and it's coming along very quickly. So I'm excited to see where that takes the field and what the frontier looks like. Even 6 to 18 months from now will be much different.
Yeah, and some of the first clinical trials are ongoing, so this is going to be really interesting. And then see, it's going to be photon, electrons, it's going to be protons, or maybe all of these, or
it seems like it's a useful tool in all of the modalities.
And what is the real dose rate?
Right, those numbers.
Produce the.
You're used to seeing the dose rates on the screen. You hear the doot 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 doot, on the machines, and this one. Would you hear anything? Do you hear anything with it, or just wow?
It's gonna. It's
cent a millisecond. It's exciting to see, exciting to hear, and learn about for sure. There's more to come, without a doubt.
So as a dosimetry company, this is probably something that.
Yeah.
That is the art of what you're going to be doing in the next few years.
The art of QA. Yeah. Keeping things safe and quality assured, and learning more about the requirements there. I should say guidelines for safety and quality assurance is definitely interesting. There's a lot of changes that are coming, so we're definitely on the edges of our seat waiting for the next papers to come out and the next research. Definitely always waiting and watching with kind of bated breath on that one. See what we need to do next. All right. Well, I so appreciate you taking time out of your day to come over here and hop on the live with me and our virtual guests here in the booth. I know we have some folks who weren't able to make it to Houston this year, so we kind of put our heads together and decided to invite them into the booth virtually so that we could still have conversations. Yes.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for having me.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure. Folks, if you're still hanging out with us, again, we're in the booth 300 here at AAPM in the exhibit hall. We've had the pleasure of chatting with Dr. Beaulieu from
Quebec City.
Quebec City. Thank you. I know there's a new city in there, and we're so grateful for his time, but we're grateful for yours as well. And please do, if you're here in the exhibit hall, pop in and say hi. We'll be here for the rest of the day. The show closes today at 2 p.m. If you're here virtually, be sure to follow the pages for Standard Imaging here on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, so that you're always aware when we go live. Thanks so much for being with us, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.